Number 56, Caroline DeMesquita.
All right, y'all, I'm back. Today I'm talking about a important topic for women. I get this question a lot, and this is more specific to kind of the intermediate level athletes, is how much protein should I be eating? And is there too much protein for a female? So I'm gonna take a step back first and kind of talk about protein intake and its benefits, right? When we eat protein, we are helping our body by adding these amino acids into our system that can help with several processes. It's not just muscle building. You hear time and time again, people with some of the healthiest physiques, they have protein intake. So what does that look like? It can help with your hair, skin, and nails. It can help with bone strength. It can help with energy. It can help with overall physique athleticism. Can help with a lot. And when we start adding protein into our diet, especially those who never tracked food before, never tracked macros, can be overwhelming. And you start realizing, wow, there's actually a lot of protein you can get from different foods, but you do need to have lean protein sources if you're trying to increase that caloric intake from a protein percentage amount. So when we get started, usually that's like the first step is figuring out how much food we're taking in. And that's what I do with all my clients. You need to start tracking how much food you're actually eating. From there, you need to decide and figure out, okay, what percentage of that is protein? There's a lot of really cool apps on your phone that you can get. I like MyFitnessPal is free. I actually use the My Macros Plus. It works for me. There's a lot of foods you can find, add in. I create recipes all the time using the app, so it's great. Now, when you are trying to figure out, okay, how much protein do I need if I'm trying to get lean or if I'm trying to put on muscle? There are studies showing that for somebody who's trying to put on muscle and is starting to do stricter tracked weight training sessions, you should be taking in about 0.8 to 1.5 grams per lean body weight in pounds. So what does that look like? If you have a 120 pound female wants to put on muscle, you're usually going to be looking at anywhere from about 90 grams of protein per day to 130, 35 grams of protein per day. And that's just looking at weight. Now I would need to look at the person's physique to know what their body type is, if they do have more lean body mass, if they are on the leaner side, or if they have some extra body fat. You're needing to analyze that. Here's where the caveat is. A lot of female competitors and females who've been doing dieting for a while will typically go through cycles of high protein diets with a lot lower carbs and fats so that they can increase their metabolic rate, burn more fat, be lean for the summer, etc. Now, as you do this over and over again, if your protein is continuing to stay high, we're starting to see more women having issues with their blood sugar levels and not really figuring out what's the cause of it. Well, there's some research showing now that if you are eating more protein, your body can actually get some protein resistance in the fact that it won't utilize the protein the same way because it's used to that high intake of protein, and it starts going into the system, into our bloodstream as sugars. So for my females out there who like to stick to that lean, high protein diet year round, it might be good to taper it down from time to time. It might be good to track your fasted blood glucose levels. It might be good to get your labs done and see where you're at, If you're starting to be overstressed, stress can be an indicator of a higher fasted blood glucose as well. So you're gonna need to take that into account too, because you don't want all these factors to compound against each other. Now, revert back to the beginning. Your average person is usually under eating protein. The average American is under eating protein. Yes. People who are in the athletic competitive sports, odds are you are at a good level or you can start overeating protein. So you just need to be mindful about that and proceed with caution, but be very intentional about your goal too. The other misconception, I hear this time and time again, is I don't want to lose my muscle mass if I'm not eating enough protein. If you take a break of lowering your protein for even 4 weeks, 8 weeks, you aren't going to lose muscle mass. Promise. If you're still doing activity, you're still challenging your body, you're even doing like lower intensity training sessions, you're not going to lose muscle. You're still going to have amino acids, even if it's a lower percentage. There was a study I read actually, if protein intake was 50% of your weight, or even 40% of your weight, the people they studied were still not losing muscle mass. And it just goes to show, like, our bodies do adapt, and you need to change it up from time to time so we can help it adapt in a good way. So, hope you found this beneficial, and once again, ladies out there, just be really, really aware and not be afraid to try something new, because your body might respond in a really good way. And that's one thing I'm finding with a lot of my clients that have hit plateaus in either their fat loss or their muscle gains, is sometimes we have to change it up. Your body likes change, so let's help it thrive. So thank you guys, and I will be back with you guys soon.